Hey everyone, it's ZLR here, and gonna be doing my week 8 recap video, but before we get into that, I just recorded this video for 20 minutes and the file got corrupted. So I'm doing this again, and I'm very much not happy about it. But anyway, we had the Panthers and the Showboats, with the Panthers winning 24-18. I don't really want to go through this shit. I'm already tired enough. So we had Cookus with 179 yards, 10 completed passes out of 16 for one touchdown and one interception. And Love, Jordan Love, not just kidding. But he had 12 attempted, 9 completed for 56 yards and one touchdown. Victor with 33 yards off of 11 attempts rushing. Cookus with 8 yards off of 3 attempts. Davis with 86 yards, with 3 receptions, 2 touchdowns. Surratt with 55 yards off of 5 receptions. Anderson with 44 yards off of 2 receptions. Papple with 25 yards off of 5. And Victor with 14 over 3. Actually, Adams also had 11 yards off of 1. Then the next side of things, we had Perkins with 9 attempts, 7 completed, 106 yards, 1 touchdown, and Lurk with 82 yards off of 6 completed passes, 11 attempted, and 1 touchdown. Colburn, 93 yards off of 24 attempts at rushing for 2 touchdowns. Perkins with 55 yards for 9 attempts at rushing. And Lurk, 13 yards off of 3 attempts rushing. And for the receiving side of things, we have Gray with 84 yards, 6 receptions, 1 touchdown. Nakua with 39 yards, 2 receptions. Hikutini with 21 yards, 1 reception, 1 touchdown. Quinn with 20 yards off of 1. Wright with 12 yards off of 1. Colburn with 7 yards off of 1. And Sims with 5 off of 1. So there was that first game, and all these games were very, very close. Next one was Stallions and Roughnecks, with the Stallions getting the win there, 35-28. Sinnett with 99 yards, 13 attempts, 6 completed passes, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Henderson, 97 yards, 14 attempts, 9 completed passes. Then we had Thompson with 54 yards off of 11 attempts, 2 touchdowns. Pledger with 39 yards, 11 attempts at rushing. Henderson with 34 yards with 9 attempts at rushing and a touchdown. And Sinnett with 8 yards off of 1 attempt rush. Then we had Chisholm with 80 yards, 7 receptions, 73 yards, 4 receptions for Hall. Grayson with 1 reception for 24 yards. Butler, 1 reception for 12 yards. Pledger with 1 reception, 5 yards. And Bowman, 1 reception, 2 yards, and 1 touchdown. And for the Stallions side of things, we had Martinez, 31 attempts, 19 completed, 173 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Person with 63 yards off of 15 attempts at rushing. Something just popped up on my computer. Martinez, 44 yards, 6 attempts at rushing, and 2 touchdowns. Roundtree, 32 yards, 5 attempts. Kane, 10 yards, 1 attempt. And those were all rushing. Then we had Sternberger, 30 yards, 2 receptions. Kane, 29 yards, 4 receptions, 1 touchdown. Williams with 27 yards, 3 receptions. Austin with 20 yards off of 2 receptions. Rogers with 16 yards off of 2 receptions and a touchdown. Victor with 12 yards, 1 reception, 1 touchdown. Baugh also had 12 yards off of 1 reception. Person, 2 receptions for 11 yards. Thomas with 1 reception for 11 yards, and Roundtree with 5 yards off of 1 reception. So, pretty decent game from both teams there. Then we have the Battlehawks and the Defenders next. And this one was one of the closer games because the next one was about the same for at least how many points were away from being a win for the other team, which this one is 5. The next one is going to be 5 as well. So for the Defenders side, we had Teamu, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, with 40 attempted passes and 23 of them being completed. Then we also had McClendon with 16 yards off of 1 attempt at passing and 1 completed. And even the punter getting a throw out there with 1 completed out of 1 attempt for 8 yards. Then we had Hagen's 37 yards off of 8 attempted rushing. Teamu with 30 yards off of 5 attempts rushing. Cootie with 19 yards off of 1 attempt rushing. And, yeah. Then we had Scott, 69 yards, 6 receptions, 1 touchdown, 69 yards. Nice. 58 yards, 4 receptions, 1 touchdown for Ellis. Smith had 40 yards off of 4 receptions. Rowland had 34 yards off of 5. Smith had 9 yards off of 3. Smith had 8 off of 1. Cootie had 6 out of 1 reception. And for the Battlehawks side, we have Wilkins, 9 completed, 18 attempted, 127 yards, no touchdown, no interception. Wilkins also had 79 yards off of 12 attempts rushing. Gelman had 35 yards off of 9 attempts rushing and 2 touchdowns. And Sailors, 26 yards off of 10 attempts rushing and a touchdown. And we had Butler, 40 yards, 3 receptions. Gelman, 38 yards off of 1. Averett with 22 yards off of 2 receptions. Excuse me. Sailors, 14 yards off of 1 reception. And Sutherland with 13 yards off of 2 receptions. And for the last game, which is the one I just said was going to be the other game that was like 5 points off, Brahmas and Renegades, with the Brahmas win this one 20-15. And for the stats, we have Perez, 33 attempts, 22 completed for 209 yards, 2 touchdowns. Then we also had Smith, 38 yards off of 10 attempts rushing. Scott with 21 yards off of 1 attempt rushing. And that's really about it for rushing. Canella, 86 yards, 9 receptions, 1 touchdown. Vaughn's with 75 yards off of 6. Barnett, 31 yards off of 2. Peyton, 12 yards off of 2 receptions and a touchdown. And Smith with 10 yards off of 2 receptions. And for the Brahmas side of things, we had Dormady, 319 yards, 2 touchdowns out of 17 completed passes, 25 attempted. Lovett, 38 yards off of 11 attempts at rushing. McFarland, 17 yards off of 9. Dormady, 13 on 3 attempts. McFarland, 118 yards off of 3 receptions and 2 touchdowns. Lammer, 115 yards off of 6 receptions. Kirkland, 48 yards off of 5. And Cannon with 32 off of 1. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and hope to see you all in the next one. See you around. Before I go, actually, I just wanted to say I'm sorry about the noise that you hear at the end of the video. It's just someone's alarm that just randomly started going off. But anyway, Hope to see you all in the next video, and I'll see you all around.